different way a bit. Let's see how much I'm successful or I'm not successful. So I did try to get some idea from Dr. Ranjit Singh as to the participant profile. And so I'm told that the participants are from both engineering as well as management disciplines. I think there are a few research scholars also, as told to me. Initially, actually, I was to speak on, I think, 16th, or my session was fixed on 16th. So it was more towards the end of the FDP. But again, maybe it can be preponed because of some exigencies with Dr. Singh. And this also meant that I had less time actually to prepare because my mindset was actually Thursday, not a Monday. And the second thing was I had again assumed that since I was about to speak or I was to speak towards the end of the FDP, many of the things you'll already know. But now maybe some of the things I have to again maybe, what to say, change around a bit. So let us see. So if I because of any reason I'm not audible, please let me know. If you need to stop me, please let me know. So just starting my slide. I hope my slide is visible. My slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So actually I belong to this Center for Management Studies, as Dr. Ranjit Singh has already said. We actually were together, Ranjit and me, we were together. And in fact, many of my, I think, life facets are related intricately with Ranjit. I will prefer calling him Ranjit. Maybe that makes me more comfortable about talking about him. So we joined the center together, and maybe as new members of a new center, we also maybe tried to be innovative, okay, because we had not too much of resources. We did not have too many people, and maybe we were very young. We were very young because we are talking about 2003, 2004, the end of 2003, in fact, and 2004, like that. And later on, Ranjit moved to Assam University. Thereafter, he moved to IITA. And maybe some of my academic journey, as I said, is courtesy, Ranjit. So maybe I would not have been able to do my PhD if Ranjit would not have found a guide for me. Maybe my initial publication, again, were because of Ranjit, because he thought I should be a co-author or collaborate with him. So that's why his contribution towards my academic journey is always, I take it with pride, or I like to talk about that. So regarding this FDP also, there was no question of not saying a yes. So he's asked for something, I have to give it, or I will never say no, in fact, to him. We basically, as I said, we started in 2002, we started operations in 2003, and these are the programs we offer: MBA full-time, MBA part-time, MTTM, that's a tourism program. We have an undergraduate program, BBA, And of course, we also have the research program. And even though we do not exactly have a course in innovation, but I think in any management program now, you talk a lot about innovation because that is what we expect students to be. It's not only about maybe creating something new, but also thinking new, because the thinking part is so important when we talk about innovation. Maybe many of the projects our students carry out, there is a touch of innovation. So somewhere we do have a link with innovation all the time. And I, being from a systems background, I looking after IT. So technology innovation, as you know, that is one of the most dynamic fields. Every day technology is changing. It is being innovated in a big way, and there is no end to that. So we are related. Now, before I actually start this session, may I request all of you that there is actually a questionnaire. You can access this questionnaire using this link, bit.ly/fdp_innovation. I just request you to, if it's not difficult for you, to maybe get connected to one and fill up this questionnaire. It should take you no more than 10 minutes.
Link on the chat.
And yeah, bit.ly/fdp_innovation. Innovation. bit.ly/fdp_innovation. So I would request you to just fill up. As I said, should not take you more than 10 minutes. And I plan to use some of the insights I get from you to maybe drive this session. Okay, because maybe that would be more beneficial to you. It will also give me an idea as to how much maybe you are doing on innovation, how much you understand innovation, and maybe what you can do about innovation. Because management of innovation is all about, first of all, understanding innovation and taking a stock of what is being done, and of course, what can be done. So those are the three important things I would also maybe like to discuss. So I give you 10 minutes. Maybe this will also give you some more time to get out of that maybe lunch inertia.
Okay. My question is simple.
Quickly generated this word cloud on what you think about innovation.
That's all from my side.
And from the maybe this set of words, I think one thing is being totally distinct. So most of you think innovation is about creativity. Okay, innovation is about creativity. Maybe again a very important word that has come out is innovation is new, definitely. And some of the other things that are slowly as also its mark is something like ideas. Innovation is about ideas. Oh, okay, innovation, interesting again. Okay, I did not expect this, to be very honest, that the word itself comes to your mind when you think about innovation. So innovation is innovation, fair enough. Innovation is about anticipating tomorrow. Innovation is about need. Even though it's small, but definitely yes. Then innovation is about redistributing value, maybe social innovation. Innovation is about newness, maybe similar as new. Artificial intelligence, hot word, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So it's about innovation in technology or technological innovation. Innovation is about things. Yes, when you talk about innovation, one thing that comes to our mind is about the product. Innovation is a way, it's a process, exactly. Innovation is creative, fine, same as creativity. Change, entity, creating. Even though I say one word, okay, I also maybe, I'm not getting exactly into that. Change, entity, creating. So I understand that you are uh, talking about maybe changing something or the status quo. Maybe that is what you are talking about. Execution of creativity. So we had a whole set of words. Remember, this is only from around 30 odd participants, I think 32. And it was expected somewhere that maybe one word that comes to innovation is creativity. Even in the morning session, respected registrar ma'am, she talked about maybe creativity. But since he also said that, but it is still different from innovation. Now the question is, if you think it's about creativity, can creativity be managed? So that is one question that we need to answer. That can you manage creativity? So maybe there will be different schools of thought about that. So it's something like what even director sir told in the morning in his talk, that it's not everything is good about innovation. There, in fact, most of the examples he gave was what is not right with innovation. That people are smart, people are very smart, but are they using that smartness? Are they innovating for the right cause? So it's not that just because it is innovation, you have to connotate with maybe something that is positive, maybe not necessary. So whether you can manage creativity or not, okay, time will tell, or maybe, but if you ask me, yes, even creativity can be managed, because that is why now you have a separate discipline called talent management, that you need to manage talent today. So people are talented, but how do you manage the talent? So definitely, I think somewhere creativity can be also managed. Anyway, so this is just from you, what you said. So I'll be talking more on this particular thing. I hope again the slides are moving. So if the slides are not moving, please let me know. You can see the slide?
Yes, sir, you can see.
Yeah, okay. So I'm now, this slide is on managing innovation. So this is the topic that has been given to me. Okay, so basically I'll be talking about policies. I'll be talking about interventions. I'll be talking about indices. So indices actually come from measurement. Because if you're talking about managing innovation, somewhere you have to measure it so that you know that whatever you are managing, you are getting or you are being able to manage it well. And of course, maybe again a new term, not exactly new, but a lot interaction of an innovation. So these are some of the things I'll be talking about. Okay, so this I've already done. Now, three important things when we talk about this topic is the importance of managing innovation, the relevance, and of course also the significance. So maybe again these three terms are interrelated. You can say maybe only one term suffices, so everything is okay, not a problem. The core thing is to understand that why you want to manage innovation. What is the importance? What is the relevance? So what will happen if you do not manage innovation? And maybe also what is the significance? Now let us answer this question by looking at these three, I would say, stakeholders. When you talk about innovation, one is about the society, okay, the other thing is about the economy, and the third thing is about the environment. So if you now keep on listening around why people talk about innovation, they say that the society has to reach the next level. Next level means we have to deal with poverty. Okay, we need to bring in social changes. We need to uplift society, so as to say. And innovation can play a big role in taking society to the next level. Somewhere we are stuck, innovation can take society to the next level, because managing innovation somewhere is managing the society, maybe the societal divide, which we are all suffer, that means you can see it everywhere. So in the morning also, Anil Gupta sir talked about the digital divide, that people do not have access to the smartphones. Now, that's something that we need to all look into, and maybe innovation can bridge this social divide. We have seen from the last year, the COVID pandemic has basically brought about a disaster as far as the economy is concerned. Maybe the blame game is there, so let us move away from the blame game. The issue is that, yes, the economy is suffering, and government, maybe to start the prime minister with a lot of other people, they are saying that the economy has to return to its growth story, and innovation somewhere is the key. I've already said that if you want to remove a lot of those societal imbalances, we must think about the economy, okay? Because people are in a lot of distress, okay? Our purchasing power is going down. Many people just cannot afford maybe even survival, unfortunately. We have seen it across the media everywhere. Maybe every day we are also trying at our level to support the have-nots. And maybe the innovation is the key to again manage this economy. And the third thing, which I think is important, that is why I included it, maybe in this triad of society, economy, and environment. Maybe somewhere I'm an activist. I'm an activist as far as the environment is concerned. I'm deeply concerned with conservation. And maybe for me, anything, whether it's the society, it's the economy, somehow we cannot ignore the environment. So any discussion on anything has to be inclusive of environment. Okay, it is very important that environment is included. And maybe the next slide will again highlight the importance of the environment. Okay, another hot topic, so as to say, maybe in the current scenario, and we are all responsible towards that. And that is actually the sustainable development goals. Okay, so in this world of climate change, where our very survival is at stake, so maybe sustainable development goals or development has to be sustainable. That means the environment cannot be ignored. We have ignored the environment for too long in the pursuit of development. This has to stop. Okay, we have to take the environment along with development. Okay, and if you now look here, out of the 17 development goals, innovation can play a role everywhere. Whether it's about eliminating poverty, goal number 1, goal number 2 about zero hunger, maybe these are related. Goal number 3 about good health and well-being. Goal number 4 about quality education. Number 5 about gender equality. Number 6, clean water and sanitization. Number 7, affordable and clean energy. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. Number 9, you see innovation word comes. Industry, innovation and infrastructure. Okay, it is right there in the middle. Reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnerships for the goals. Now, as I said, innovation is right there in the middle. Okay, 8 on this side, 8 on this side, innovation is there right on the middle as a separate goal. And as you have seen, it is very easy to understand that innovation is playing a role to achieve each of the 17 goals. Maybe in different degree, but nobody can deny that it's innovation that can help us realize the 17 sustainable development goals. Remember again that India is a signatory. We are supposed to reach these sustainable development goals by 2030. That means it's just a decade, and we just need to be up and running. And that is why I feel managing innovation is so important. Innovation is there, no doubt about that. Maybe in India, we talk about what? Jugaad. Okay, so we are good at maybe managing it somehow. Okay, whether it's good or bad, that will come later. But we are very good at jugaad. Now, how to manage the jugaad properly? That it can help the society, it can help the economy, it can help the environment. So I think this triad of the society, the economy, and the development, and that means I mean to say the environment, and understanding of these three things will help us understand how you can manage information or why managing information is important. As I said about those three words, the relevance, the significance, like that. Fine. Now the next thing is we have talked about the importance of why you need to manage innovation. But exactly what do you manage? Okay, what do you manage in innovation? Again, maybe I just try to club it from maybe my own understanding about innovation and maybe available literature. Okay, because there is now an increasing body of literature on innovation, on its management. There are maybe a lot of researchers working on those areas, and they are doing very interesting work. Okay, so for me, these are the four important things. What do you manage? Okay, what do you manage? You see philosophy. If you remember again, today even Anil Gupta sir, in fact, I was very happy that he uttered that term when he talked about maybe his mission. He talked about specifically philosophy. Okay, he talked about philosophy. Of course, the product is there. Even in that word cloud, we have seen that product is getting focused. Okay, we need, that means there is the process, because innovation is a process. And of course, the people, because people are so central. Now, I'll spend some time to understand maybe these four things. Okay, the philosophy, or you can say that these are the 4 P's of innovation management. Maybe not there in literature, thus I'm saying as part of this presentation, 4 P's of innovation management: philosophy, product, process, people. Now, philosophy is important when you talk about managing innovation, because you are trying to manage knowledge. Innovation is knowledge, it's a cognitive function. And you cannot manage knowledge if you do not surround it with philosophy. So any discipline worth its name, you must associate it with its philosophy. Okay? So for example, as the term ethics came in innovation. Now, the philosophy should be very clear that when we are talking about innovation, we are not talking about unethical innovation. No, this is unethical. Anything unethical cannot be termed as innovation. If it does not improve the environment, it does not improve the society, it does not improve the economy, it cannot be termed as innovation. That means just jugaad is not innovation. Okay? It must impact the tribe in a positive way. I'm again repeating, the economy, the society, as well as the environment. So we should be very clear about the philosophical underpinnings of innovation if you want to manage innovation. So we cannot just ignore that philosophical part, because the philosophy will give us the roadmap, it will give us direction, it will help us to be on our track whenever we are in confusion, we are in doubt. That is why philosophy is so important. And as I said, any discipline, whether it's management, mathematics, or maybe even technology, somewhere, philosophy will come into the picture. The next thing is the product. Okay, of course, when we say we are talking about a product, we're also talking about maybe service also, because service also I'm saying it's a product, so that we could just make it 4 P's. Fine, so I'm just using the product, but I also mean services. Services are important, maybe especially in the context of India, because India is a service-led economy. So if you talk about improving the economy of the country, attention must be there on innovation in services. Okay, so that is why services cannot be excluded, or that is part of when I'm talking about product.
Turn down the judgment.
Now,
And earlier
I have to manage the product, I have to manage the innovation. So what are you managing that service or that product when you are talking about managing innovation? Because lots of other things will come in the picture now. For example, intellectual property. Because when you talk about managing innovation, you have to manage the intellectual property surrounding that product or that service. Okay? You have to talk about product quality somewhere, service quality. Because somewhere there are a lot of examples, very innovative product, very good, maybe it has a lot of potential. But unfortunately, the problem is maybe not much focus on the quality. And maybe that is again why the industry is so important in tapping innovation. So what the National Innovation Foundation is doing is they are in the innovation. But innovation still do not market. Industry has to take that innovation, improve the quality, and then release it to the market. Then it will flourish. Otherwise, it will not flourish. So the product quality is so important. The service quality is so important. So all these things are again what you need to understand in terms of managing innovation. Product is very important, or your understanding of the product is very important. The third thing is the process. Again, why somewhere innovation is a process. Okay, we'll look into that why it's a process, or actually why whatever. In fact, there are a lot of models which will try to explain this innovation as a process. There will be distinct phases, steps. Okay, the idea generation, then idea refinement, like this. So a lot of things are there. So it's also a process. So every step in that innovation process has to be managed well. Okay, you can use technology to manage the process, because managing the process will also, or for that matter, as you know, that if you can improve the process quality, the product quality will improve. So these are interrelated. So I improve the process quality, the product quality also becomes important. Or I can find defects in the process, it will have an impact on the product or the service quality. And the fourth thing, the fourth P, people. Okay, so people are central. And in fact, out of these four P's, the most difficult is managing people. So why is managing innovation so difficult? Because managing people is difficult. In fact, you can have a lot of control over the other things, maybe process, philosophy, product, but people are so difficult to manage. Okay, but without people, there cannot be any innovation. Okay, because people are related to product, people are related to the process, people are related to the philosophy. And in fact, the entire discipline of management, maybe it made its appearance only because people had to be managed. If you look at the history of management, so the founding fathers, or maybe the people who introduced management as a discipline, they are always worried about managing people. Now also, it is said that out of all resources, the most important resource is the human resource, and the most difficult to manage is human resource. So human resource management is the most difficult. So in managing innovation also, people management is the most difficult, because they are very unpredictable. They have a lot of ego. Okay, they think they are right, or I would say maybe I could have better use the word we. We think we are right. We have a lot of ego. We think we know too much. So and especially in case of innovation, what happens is that we think it's mine. Who are you to tell me to change? That's a big issue again. Okay, so there is always that barrier, that ownership will prevent me from even bringing in changes. And believe me, that even maybe National Innovation Foundation, if you can talk, if you sometimes discuss it with maybe even Anil Gupta sir, he will tell you that many a times even getting that innovation from an innovator is so difficult, because they'll cling on to it. They will not give it. Okay, they will always suspect that, okay, you are going to take away my thing. So managing people is the most difficult thing to do. And that is why I think that what is trying to manage in innovation, these four P's, the philosophy, product, the process, and the people. And if you ask me, the most difficult out of these four, it's the people. Okay. So I have said that actually I'll be talking about policies, because if you talk about in managing innovation, you must have the right policies. Without policies, it's so difficult. Okay. So I thought that this is important in managing innovation. Now, okay, I think we are getting some on the chat box. I am not going to. Okay, I think some has to leave. Okay, not an issue at all. Not an issue at all. Okay, fine. I understand the limitations. So I'm more about talking about the innovation policies, national innovation policies. I mean, I'm talking in terms of a top-down approach. So you can have a policy at the institutional level. You can have a policy at the organizational level. But what I think is more important is the national innovation policies, because they again give the direction. So why innovation has now kick-started in many institutions? Because the government is very serious about innovation as a policy. It's a government policy now. So the institutions, the organization will follow suit. So that is why I think national innovation policies are the most important among all policies. Now, when you talk about national innovation policies, remember I have not exactly gone through what is there, or maybe in the policy framework of India. But these are some of the things that should be there. If they are not there, they should be included. And if they are there, good enough. Now, the first important thing is creation of government agencies, councils, and organizations specifically responsible for innovation. And this we have already seen. Okay, this we have already seen. And especially in India, this is already there. Okay, so now we have dedicated government agencies, there are councils, and there are even organizations specifically responsible for innovation. And even at organizational level, and even at now institutional level. Okay, so even in our university, we have a Center for Technology Incubation and Innovation. Okay, so I think today all engineering colleges, all management institutes have those kind of centers in their respective organizations. So this is very important. The second thing is about implementation of strong and innovative tax measures, such as more generous R&D tax credits, investment incentives, collaborative tax credits. So what is meant by this is that if you are doing R&D, give some tax benefits. If you are doing innovation, give investment incentives. Or if you are doing a lot of collaboration with the ultimate goal of having innovation, you can even give collaborative tax credit. But you need to have a, that means especially for this business organization, you need to give them something to get interested in innovation, R&D, and all those kind of things. And a good way of doing that is what? Having innovative tax measures and also implementing them. The third one is improve regulatory environment in support of innovation. You see, for example, the patent regime. Okay, so people should come forward to patent. Okay, or there should not be a lot of debt capacity in maybe filing your patent. There should be help. So the regulatory environment is very important. Now, many national governments have single window clearance for innovative and R&D products and all those kind of things. So this regulatory environment is very important, which supports innovation at a national level. The next one is about taking initiatives to leverage open data. Now, why specifically we have talked about open data is because innovation is also data intensive. You need a lot of data. And fortunately, again, there is a lot of data available which can be looked into to not only explore where you can innovate, So again, I'm going back to the morning session, that this COVID pandemic has generated a lot of data. Now, this data can help us understand where are the gaps, where we can innovate. As it was said, that people do not have access. Okay, I hope I'm audible. I think some has said. I'm audible still?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think I got just a message that they are not hearing. Anyway, so I'm sorry that maybe you were unable to hear. Anyway, so I'm saying that we need to just go into this data, try to do some analysis, and it is a platform, as it is said out here, for innovation. We have to leverage open availability of data.
Any theory that you have studied?
The next two are about what ensuring robust IP rights. I'd already talked about the patent regime, but beyond that, even I talked about
Any theory?
the product, okay, because you have to protect your innovation, okay. So
Okay, master.
maybe
What is that?
these are some of the reasons why an effective and IP regime is so important, and it has to be enforced. Okay, I think some of you have still problem in listening to me. Anyway, so I hope my network is okay. Anyway, maybe this is one limitation of online things. Anyway, so and the last one, as I said, I'm just taking a few. It's about achieving effective technology transfer and commercialization of new discoveries. Now, as I said earlier, that especially in a country like India, innovation you'll see everywhere, every nook and corner of the country. But they're very raw. They do not have commercial aspects. Okay, maybe the idea is excellent, maybe the technology is still not refined, maybe the quality is suspect, and who can help? Industry can help. And that is why the policy should encourage effective technology transfer and commercialization of the discovery, which not only benefits the innovator, it also benefits this business organization, because they have a ready-made product, and it actually satisfies all the requirements of a product, because there is a need. That is why the innovation was done. Okay, the R&D, that means the product is in a implementation stage. The only thing that needs to be done is marketing and improving the quality by investment. And business organizations are good at that. Okay, so this is very important. The 6th point, achieving effective technology transfer and commercialization of new discoveries. Okay, now once we have got some idea about the policies, let us quickly talk about maybe some of the interventions. Why interventions are so important? Because policies will be there, but there many people, we have a lot of policies. We have some of the most wonderful laws, but the intervention is not there. The implementation is not there. Okay, so what is being done when you look about institutional interventions? And a couple of, I'm not giving too many examples, but some of these actually are from my home state. Okay, so maybe this gives an opportunity to also highlight what is happening in Assam. You see, this is the first one is the NRL Ideation Startup Challenge. Okay, so it started in 2017. Now NRL stands for Numaligarh Refinery Limited. Assam has 4 refineries, and this is the largest of the refineries. In fact, now it was BC, that means this Bharat Petroleum had a majority stake. But now that since Bharat Petroleum would be privatized, the Assam government has now become the majority stakeholder in NRL. So it's the largest refinery in Assam, and it is increasing its capacity to 9 MMTPA, million metric tons per annum. So, as part of its CSR activity, remember, many organizations, business organizations do CSR. And this is an unique CSR, that they actually are investing money on innovation. Okay, so they have a corpus of, I think, a few crores, if I am not wrong. And it started in 2017. They conduct a lot of boot up camps, even in educational institutions. I have been part of such boot up camp, and they do a lot of hand holding. And already many startups are finding their feet thanks to this ideation, NRL ideation. Next, very popular, I think all of you know, maybe many of you might have participated, maybe many of you might have helped your students participate, the Smart India Hackathon, okay? So it's a brilliant idea where problems are given as projects to students who are supposed to innovate, submit, and in the process, they not only learn, they not only get certified, they are also awarded handsomely. Okay, the third one, again, is a very unique thing. So I'll not be knowing about maybe this kind of initiative in the other states of the country. But the state of Assam has its own incubation center. It's called Assam Startup. Okay. So the government of Assam has its own incubation center called Assam Startup, which is running in collaboration with IIM Calcutta. Okay, and again, it is doing wonderful work. Started in again 2017. And the last one is the CII Industrial Innovation Awards. Okay, started in 2014 by the Confederation of Indian Industry. So they are trying to recognize innovative organizations in the country. Okay, now from last year, if I am not wrong, they have even started recognizing our educational institutions. So last year, IIT Madras and IIT Roorkee were awarded as part of the Industrial Innovation Awards. Now you see, if you look at these four examples, they are trying to do different things. Okay, so one is geared up towards students, Smart India Hackathon. Okay, maybe geared more towards institutions. This NRL ideation, even though it's a CSR activity, they are trying to get even solutions for their own problems through this challenge. The Assam Startup is trying to give institutional support to startups, and the awards are again we are recognizing the effort of the industry. Okay, so these are some of the institutional interventions that can help manage innovation better. Because, for example, this Industrial Innovation Awards, the CII, as part of their award, they have come up with a framework. So if you go to that framework, maybe you can manage innovation better, because that is what these organizations are doing. They are being awarded because they are managing innovation better. So their framework can be replicated, or it can go through their framework and try to understand what they're looking at, so that those can be implemented as far as giving a direction to innovation is concerned. These are some of the instead one. Now I had said that about indices, because you have to measure innovation if you have to manage innovation. So at the global level, you have the Bloomberg Innovation Index. That means the 2021 results have already come out, and they have ranked the world's 16 most innovative economies. Okay, and unfortunately, India is not among the top 10, but it is in the 50th rank. So, and it is improving its position slowly. But if you now observe carefully that those countries that are in the top 10, they are basically small countries. Okay, if you look at Sweden, if you look at South Korea, Singapore, Israel, Austria, Switzerland, Germany, Netherlands, Denmark. And the second thing is that there is a concentration on the European mainland. In fact, Austria, Switzerland, Germany, Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden. 5 of the countries are there. Okay, in fact, 6, Finland is also there. Maybe that is okay. That is okay, because they maybe have an advantage. These are all developed economies, and they are doing better. But we can learn from them. That is why this index is so important. That what they are doing correct, good. Maybe India as a country can also follow. Maybe can some of the things be improved in our own institution, in our own organization to promote innovation. So this is the Bloomberg Innovation Index. Similarly, we have a India Innovation Index. Okay, the 2021 results are yet to be out. This is the 2020 the last results. And interestingly, again, in India, the states that are down south, that means the southern states are doing much better in comparison to other states. Okay, so I'm not going to rank, but what I'm interested is in maybe some of the features of this India Innovation Index because it pertains to our country. Now you see, this is actually the thing in the India Innovation Index. There are two things. One is the enablers and the other is the performance. Okay, and then they that means calculate that index. So in the enablers, you have human capital. Remember, I talked about people, investment, knowledge workers, business environment, safety and legal environment. And in performance, that is, they are looking at the knowledge output and knowledge diffusion. So output in terms of maybe research papers or something, and diffusion is how it is impacting the society. Okay, so these are in details, shown in details. I don't know how clear that slide is, but these are available. I'll share the link. You can go to them. Now, these are enablers. You see, what are they looking at the state level? Human capital, enrollment in PhD, enrollment in engineering and technology, colleges connected through NME ICT, higher education institutes with NEC grade A and above, pupil-teacher ratio, higher education, schools with ICT labs, National Achievement Survey, then scores. And at investment, they are talking about expenditure on higher and technical education, expenditure on research and development, expenditure on science, technology and environment, FDI inflow, venture capital deals. As far as knowledge workers are concerned, knowledge intensive employment, NGOs involved in knowledge intensive areas, private R&D units, state funded R&D units. In the case of business environment, ease of doing business, ranking, online service transactions, internet subscribers, incubator centers, common facility centers, cluster strength, and in safety and legal environment, information technology, intellectual property related acts, cybercrime, police stations, pendency of court cases, and the output. So what they are looking at, knowledge output and knowledge diffusion. In terms of knowledge output, grassroots innovations, patent applications file, trademark applications file, presence of startups, industrial design applications file, new business registered publications. And in knowledge diffusion, ICT export, high and medium high-tech manufacturing entities, geographical indications registered, so GI and citation. So this is the output. Okay, and the report is available here, journalsofindia.com, India Innovation Index 2020, if you want to know more about this one. And maybe this is the end part of my discussion, so it will be coming to an end. So here, this is an important thing that is open innovation. Okay. Open, that word now is omnipresent somewhere. So we have already talked about open data platforms, so know about open software. Okay, we know about open economy. So open is everywhere. So somewhere maybe open also had to be appended to innovation, and we talk about open innovation. Now, if there is something called open innovation, definitely earlier innovation was supposed to be closed. Okay, so this distinction between open innovation and closed innovation. Now, this open innovation term, terminology, it is different from closed innovation in the sense that earlier, innovation was a closed process. Means if some research was going on in some industry, They will do the idea generation, idea refinement, develop, everything they will do. And ultimately the product will be released in the market. So, okay, it's fine with that model. But that model basically was slower and it failed to take advantage of the resources that were available outside the organization because it was closed. So open innovation tried to break in that status quo. So the whole presumption was that in innovation, we need as much help as possible. We cannot do everything on our own. We need help. We need support. And we need to tap in. We need to reach out. If someone wants to join us, let them join in. So that is the core idea behind open innovation, that let ideas flow in and out. Let there be no restrictions. And this now is what is happening, or maybe that is the core idea behind open innovation. So in open innovation, basically, I've tried to explain open innovation in terms of 4 steps, as you've seen out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible because on open innovation itself is a very, very vast area. Okay. So step number 1 is source. Okay. So if you think about open innovation, talk about innovation, you have to identify the source of the ideas, where the source lies. Okay? So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, everything. I try to identify the source. So to get that source of ideas, if you need to collaborate with somebody, do that. You might have seen that many organizations, they will just now do what takeover, or they will just buy out a small organization. Why? Because they found the source of innovation. So they are not waiting, they just jump at it. Okay? So this is the first stage, identify the source. Okay? Second thing is integrate. Now integrate is, remember, you have your own environment of innovation. Now if you are linking up with outside, somewhere that outside and inside has to be integrated. Okay, and this is difficult. This is where maybe ego should not come in. Let me give you an example out here. For example, I don't know how many of you use that. There was something called Hotmail. Okay, so Hotmail, as far as email service was concerned, was very popular. Okay, it was very effective, very robust. So Microsoft brought it, and practically Hotmail also got extinguished. Okay, it was no longer hot. Maybe somewhere either it was deliberate or not, we do not know. But I don't think it was deliberate because Microsoft still does not have a very effective maybe email service. Okay, maybe that is why they took over Hotmail. But maybe somewhere the problem was the integration. Okay, they could not integrate it properly with their existing products or other kind of things. So even though Hotmail still exists, maybe it is there, fine. Okay, something like that. So integration will always be an issue, but it has to be done. The point is, it has to be done. The third one is the release. Okay, you have got your source, you have got the ideas, done everything, integrated it. You see, you have to now release that innovative product, that innovative service. You have to do the marketing. Okay, and it has to be done in such a way that you can create an immediate impact somewhere. Now, why I'm saying immediate impact? Because today, even in the area of innovation, there is so much of competition. Okay, you never know who will just bang in. So you need to be fast, you need to be efficient, and you need to maybe somewhere take advantage of maybe leadership, if you at all are the leader as far as the innovative product is concerned or a service is concerned. If you are not the leader in that particular category, you have to again maybe scale up fast as possible, try to compete, and maybe there are a lot of case studies also which will help you understand maybe how quickly you can capture the market, okay, for your product or for your services. And the last one is improve. Okay, so it is SIRI, Siri. So Siri should be familiar with you. The bot in your Apple phones. Okay, right, Siri. So improve means, you see, innovation is a continuous process again. Okay, you just do not stop when you talk about innovation. Okay, so you have to keep on improving. Maybe and improvement you can see in other steps also. Maybe you can improve your scouting of the sources. You can better improve, and maybe you can do your release better. But the bottom line is that improvement has to be there all the time. Okay. So these are the 4 steps. As I've said, I've tried to be as simple as possible to maybe give an idea about this open innovation. And maybe so I think my time is also getting shorter. I have to wind up by 5, so it is already 4:45. So with this, I come to the end of my maybe what I wanted to say. So I talked for about an hour or so. And now, if you have any questions, we can definitely take that up. You can directly ask, or maybe you can also put it in the chat box. And fine.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Rashmi Tyagi this side.
Yes, please.
Sir, if we talk about the innovation in context of talent management, as we have discussed in the PPTs, and as we talked about the 4 P's of innovation management, and as you said, people is the most unpredictable element to manage. Sir, if we talk about employer branding, what are your views about the people being most unpredictable element? Because the most important thing an employee expect from an employer is salary package, good culture, and the things on which generally good organizations used to work. Then how can we bring innovation into the field of employer branding? I mean, is there still any scope if even the employees, when the employees are being predictable in that particular field?
Okay, you see, there are certain things, maybe if I've got your question correctly. The first thing is that we have to accept that people are unpredictable. If you are talking from an employer perspective, okay, so don't expect that they will toe the line all the time. Especially maybe the coming generation, we call of the millennials, Generation Z, they have their own mindset. Okay, they don't think twice about changing an organization. They do not have maybe in many cases, as I say, they will not think about just jumping off. Now, for an organization, the important thing is about retaining your talent, because you talked about talent management. So you have to somewhere understand what they want. Remember, always money will not matter. And so maybe I think somewhere the policies they frame, the organizations, okay, they can have a broad policy, but they can also have very individualistic policies. So for example, say today there is talk about flexi timing. Now remember, flexi timing is in. Many people like flexible timing. But if it becomes a company policy, maybe somebody might not like that. So can we give an option to that person who does not like flexi timing, that okay, for you timing is fixed. Why he wants a fixed timing? Because maybe he has a lot of other things to do. So he wants to just devote maybe 10 to 5 in his work. Others, okay, just leave me alone. So what I'm trying to say is that you cannot have a one size fits all when you talk about talent management. It is